Welcome everybody to the Latiners Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Of course, the third entry in this franchise. The third entry of which I can't really seem to know who is actually clamoring to see a third entry in this franchise. Not to say I haven't enjoyed the previous two films. I was a fan of the first one. Kind of fresh take on that heist kind of film. I enjoyed it. The magic seemed believable for the most part. The second one was entertaining, but let's be honest, suspension of disbelief is applies so much to that film. I mean, goddamn, they were like wizards by that time that movie came out, which made sense as Daniel Radcliffe, of course, Harry Potter was in that one. So I can't really say I was excited for a third one, but like I said, I still enjoyed the first two for what they were. Not great films, but there's definitely some entertainment, particularly in the first one. But here we go again, about I think 9 years after the release of the second one. We got all the, most of the previous cast members of the four horsemen, or I guess five horsemen, if you will. Jesse Eisenberg, Dave Franco coming back, Woody Harrelson, Isla Fisher returning, which she was not in the second one. Of course, she was in the original Four Horsemen. Is back in this one as well. Morgan Freeman, of course, in this one. Yeah, this one here, I guess, kind of taking not say a different approach, but definitely mixing things up in terms of the cast, because we have, the old horsemen now kind of potentially the group that they work for, recruiting new members, fresh new blood, right? Youngins, if you will. So you have the clash of generations. They kind of joke about that throughout the film, with three additional young upstarts. Magicians. Now they're tasked to bring down this Diamond Corporation, headed by Rosamund Pike, who obviously deals with deception and misleading and money laundering, etc. Obviously dealing with a lot of unsavory characters, drug dealers and weapons distributors, etc., etc. So that now the task to bring them down and bring this individual and the company down to its knees, if you will, and they have to learn how to kind of work together to do that. Listen, ultimately, I think this was the worst out of the three, to be honest with you. I'm not as far as say that I hated this film or disliked it. It was okay. The beginning was weird. I just wasn't quite feeling it. Everything just seemed kind of stale. I mean, we know what to expect out of this film. There's going to be, some little twists and turns, and if, this creative, I guess, if not barely believable, maybe unbelievable, magic, illusion, tricks, and cons and etc. to accomplish their task, and they're all, trying to vie for magician supremacy amongst each other at times. And that's basically what you're looking for. I think if you're a fan of this franchise, I think you're gonna be mildly entertained by this. But this is, for me, a kind of a disappointment. I figure with the third entry, some time passing kind of inject some fresh blood. Even with the new cast, who I did like in this one, I just found myself kind of bored, particularly in the first hour. And there's even scenes, particularly in the middle of the film, where they're trying to get some information and they just kind of the film wastes time. They get into this competition of who can do better magic, and it was like pointless scenes in there. And at times it seemed like some things out of Scooby Doo. Not that I don't like Scooby Doo, but just not in this movie. Even Morgan Freeman was kind of wasted here. You didn't even need him. I think he was just put there because a little Easter eggs and of course fan service to those fans of the franchise. But even how the arc of his character is kind of not done well enough as I thought it should. So why was he in it to begin with? It just seemed, again, there's over elaborate things and plans and things that go over the top. Is again, which you like in these kind of films, but they take it to a whole extreme and just waste a lot of time, particularly in the middle of the film. The third act picks up a little bit, becomes more of what we know from this franchise, at least for me. Again, ridiculous eye-rolling situations, but at the same time, they have fun with it. The cast is good, so I can live with it for the most part. But I'm not going as far as to say, oh, this is a great movie or this is a movie you should run to the theaters and check out. I think it's really, if you enjoyed this series, you probably enjoyed this one. Just kind of lower the expectations a bit. But this is probably one you can wait and watch on VOD, streaming, whatever, when it comes out in a few months, as opposed to running to the theater to watch it. And all, to be honest with you, so it was okay, not terrible for the most part, and that's the best way I could put it. But Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Are you fans of it? You're going to go watch it, check it out. Comment below, let me know what you guys thought of the film. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.